Atta boy. Yes, sir.
What's your guys' thoughts on like innings counts, like counting innings? Is that a real thing? Like there's a certain limit, and is it based off training or is it based off like your body, genetics? Like it
should be everything.
Yeah,
I mean,
because how what should a kid be throwing? How many innings a year should a kid be throwing? Let's just say like
there's no exact number.
A person that trains really well, a person that goes through ACEs
right
academy.
I always tell kids, spring and summer combined, 70 to 80 innings total.
Yeah.
Now, again, 70 innings on an untrained arm can be disastrous. 70 innings on a very well-trained arm would be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be case by case. Obviously, body type, genetics, work ethic all play a huge role.
Age,
all that stuff.
Arm action.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if they're
stress level of the throwing, just everything out there.
Two-way guys,
yeah,
and obviously it takes
Huge.
a lot out of you if you're playing shortstop.
So if you're hitting that 100 inning mark, that's a red flag.
I believe so.
At the
high
ages
school
at
under level.
The high school and younger level.
Yeah.
Right, and that's one thing too. Is like we do have kids in our program who this spring threw up to 60 innings.
Yeah,
which is a ton. Now, what they need to do is have that conversation with their summer coach. Hey, I threw 60 innings.
Yeah,
maybe I'm good for 10, 20 more, unfortunately. So you do have to kind of be somewhat strategic because you still have a summer to play.
Yeah, I think with very special guys. You have some guys in your program that have come out. Like, and Adam hasn't talked about any of the players that have come out of his program, but he's had some of the biggest names in St. Louis and Christian Little, Victor Quinn, like all these guys that are going on to big SEC D1 schools. And he has a lot of guys going D2, JUCO, like he has great arms. But how many of those guys were physically mature enough to handle that type of load? Right. And not only keep in mind, you're throwing the 80 innings in the game, but then all the throwing you're doing outside of there and the bullpens and everything, that all plays a count. And you better be incredibly phically mature for at that age to be able to handle that. Because what most of the times we see is those middle July weekend tournaments, our pitchers' arms are just down.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and it's time for a break.
And we'll get phone calls or kids stopping by during the spring. Why's my velo down? Well, first question is I don't know because I haven't seen you for a while.
Well, Fitz would say because you're not in the weight room, bro.
And that's exactly. Hey,
why is my velo down? Yeah, because you're not in the weight room.
And that's the biggest thing too. Is you have kids, unfortunately, who work so hard for 5 months.
Yep.
Once high school baseball starts, it's almost like they think it's going to last forever. If I just kind of, I worked for 5 months, I'm good to go. And unfortunately, and I watched the podcast with Brian, and it's a lifestyle. Lifting, especially. You can lift forever. You can lift your entire life. Obviously, you want to be doing certain things at certain times of the year. Throwing to baseball is kind of the same. You could throw year-round if you're throwing at the right intensity. That's not pitching year-round. That's not throwing 100% every day. But I do see kids coming in, hey, my velo's down, or hey, I can't throw strikes. Well, are you guys throwing bullpens at practice? No. Are you lifting? No. Are you doing all the pre and post throwing protocols we gave you? No. I'm like,
and
I don't want to,
Here's the difference between a pro and an amateur is that a pro knows his body extremely well.
Right.
The amateur is like a baby giraffe. They think that they can run as fast as they can, but they have all these limbs going all over the place. And like, I'm running real fast, but I'm not really.
Mm-hmm.
They are the baby giraffes, and they think that they know their body, but they have no idea where their elbow is compared to their knee and how to make that adjustment. There's a select few that can do that.
But they also don't understand, all these kids want to play college baseball.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced that some of these kids understand how hard it is,
A,
to get there, but B, to stick. It's a lifestyle.
I've said that phrase a million times. I've been in a million recruiting meetings with parents, and I can tell the players a million times over what it's like at the college level and what your expectation is and everything else. And there's no chance they can get it until they get there. Right. They're just never going to understand that experience until they step foot into it.
Catch new episodes of the Tiger Interview Series on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and you can watch it on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to get notified of future episodes by setting notifications to all. And check out our website, rawlingstigers.com, for club baseball and softball information.